Don't watch me, watch Nolazine TV.
What's up, it's your boy Subtweet Shawn. You're now watching Nolazine.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell everybody where you from.
From New Orleans, the East.
The East.
The East.
Like, you kind of young too, so like tell everybody how it go down in the East right now.
Shit. Just know it ain't. I mean, 100% know it ain't how it used to be. Like niggas used to be proud to say they from the East, but now niggas be scared to say it. I don't give a fuck. Though. I'm still here.
If your East be I'm like representative.
You can say that. You can say that.
So if you traveled a lot too now.
Yeah.
That's why you travel. So So I want to just jump straight into it. Like you was the first person I saw actually go to LSU from high school and just turn that motherfucker up.
Facts.
Like like just different ways, and you was an influence without being on a football team, different things. So like, how did it even happen? Like, how did all the basketball, football players, possibly baseball players, actually find out who you were?
I did this Kurt Franklin video. It's called "Y'all Mind by Praise God." So I probably did that video like the day before I moved in at LSU, and it went viral, went crazy. And as I'm on campus, certain people started to notice me, like, wait, you dude from such and such. Oh yeah, I was, I just saw you on Twitter doing this and that. So it's like, once that word got around campus, that's when certain organizations started put me on stage and stuff, like during a little talent show, so people could know, oh, I go here now. So I feel like that's how everybody really started to know Subtweet Shawn was at LSU. That's who that was.
And so for a person who never been to college ever, I want you to paint that picture, like leaving from high school and going, especially to like a school like LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it is, like transitioning.
I'm gonna be real. It wasn't nothing like I expected it to be. Like I thought it was just gonna be like wild ass college parties. We partying with the white people. You know how if you passed out everywhere. I expected it to be like that. And it being LSU, like that's a PWI, but it wasn't nothing like that. Like it was. I don't even know how to describe it. I just know all the people I know now, like that's why I met them at. Like a lot of my close friends right now, like I got cool with them at LSU.
So growing up, if you're seeing like on like a lot of your videos of you dancing and reacting things, like who was you who you was inspired by, like for musically, acting wise, different things like that?
I'm gonna say Jamie Foxx. Like
very talented and everything.
He do stand up, acting, music. All while he do it all at the same time.
And he's very great at like actually on voice. Voice. I don't say the word wrong. Like he not speak as in like every actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like he not be the Rock. I don't know what's wrong with
impersonations. Yeah.
So like I want to know how good you are in doing that.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even be trying to do that type of shit.
But you did well doing Franklin.
Alright, yeah, see.
Yeah, you did well in Franklin. So I don't know one of the characters you like tried.
That's what I'm saying. Alright, yeah. If I sit there and watch some shit, and I'll be like, alright, I'm gonna reenact that shit. Then I really try to get into that character that I'm looking at.
Because I saw Jamie Foxx actually like reenact Denzel in front of Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, this motherfucker talented.
Yeah.
That's a whole different talent.
Right. That's hard.
Yeah, he turned around like, yeah, bro, that's what you did. Like that's some different type of shit.
That shit hard, facts.
Okay.
I definitely gotta.
You gotta keep working on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell the world, what's the average day like for you?
Average day, I wake up, I might hit the gym, throw some music on because a lot of people want to know like how do I sit there and come up with the skits and stuff. I just throw some music on, like that's one of my biggest inspirations. Like me just sitting there listening to some slow R&B or some shit. Sit there, that's how my ideas get built up, and then I just push that shit out.
So how did you actually come up come up on it with your name, Subtweet Shawn.
All right, Subtweet Shawn. That came from, I did like a, it was. I don't know if you're familiar with Vine. Like it was before TikTok. I did like a little Vine or whatever. I reenacted like this argument these two chicks was having on the timeline on Twitter, and like that shit just went like New Orleans viral. So everybody started talking about the video, started saying the shit, subtweet. So I'm like, fuck it, I gotta change my name, so people could know like that's my shit. Who behind it. So that's how that started. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm slowly trying to ease myself off that name because I feel like I wanna
just be Shawn.
I'm gonna cut the sub off and just make it Tweet, like.
Okay, Tweet Shawn.
Not just Tweet.
Oh, all right.
So I don't know. I feel like I need to graduate from that name.
So we gonna bring it back. Let's say 2 years ago, like when you first like did something that no influencer did. Like you made the world get the gap. Then you made your school do it as well.
Facts.
And like people don't really get that. Like way before the White House and all that. Like you was the person to change the game for influencers. And like I want you to speak how you even actually got to that point, and how did you even feel when you felt like, dang, I did this.
Alright, so how that shit even started off? Like I'm a big like 90s. I'm a big on 90s. Like whatever it is, if it's New Orleans 90s, like just 90s in general. Like my dad. He really influenced me like with a lot of that shit as far as like the 90s bounce shit. So I was sitting there one day, and matter of fact, no, I had already did a video at LSU Stadium with these two white influencers. Like they didn't even go to the school, and I don't like really speaking about this shit, but I just be having to bring it up because like it's part of the story. Like it was these two white influencers, and LSU like these niggas ain't had more followers than me, none of that, right? So LSU wound up inviting these dudes into the stadium, like, oh, y'all go wild out, do y'all video. And they was courteous enough to invite me to do the shit with them. So I did the video, and I was cool with a lot of dudes on the football team. So they're like, damn, bro, like, why y'all ain't hit us up to come be in the video? So I'm like, all right, fuck that, I got y'all. And this was around the time, like, they was busting everybody's ass. Like, they probably like about 4-0, 5-0 at this time. So I go in the locker room, and I'm playing like the different little bounce songs and shit. So they like, I'm like, which one y'all wanna fuck with? So once I played that one, like everybody like, ooh, like that bitch the one. So we set the phone up, and niggas just went crazy after that. So like, we posted that motherfucker part of that night, and that shit just went crazy. And it was over after that.
Dang. So like, did you expect LSU to have the season they was gonna have when you first did that?
I mean, like I said, they was defeated at the time. It wasn't like I said, it was like 5-0, and I'm like, damn, like it's like one of the best starts they done had in a long ass time. So I was like, I mean, shit, this shit definitely could go somewhere if y'all keep doing what y'all doing. But regardless of the football thing, like it had took a wave of its own, probably like around Christmas time. Like everybody was with their family, and that's when everybody started posting the challenge and doing the shit.
Man. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I'm like, through that whole process, I just always thought it was just like, dang, a person from New Orleans really changed it. Like, even when it's the LSU doing it, I'm like, I don't know who that white lady was.
Yeah.
Like, who was that white lady?
I don't know who it is.
Like, did you ever ask one of the players, like, who that person is?
I think there was like, she was a wife of a former player or something that played for them. I don't know. It was something
she
like
was lit now.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not the first lady. Like, but she was lit in there with them. And like, and all I kept thinking, like, man, Shawn did that. Like, all that
and it's crazy, like, all the, like, regardless of Jamie Foxx, like, everybody that I look up to, that I'm listening to on a daily basis, like, Lil Wayne, he getting interviewed, he mentioning this shit. Drake, they got videos of him DJing.
I don't cut you off, but speaking of Lil Wayne, but I interviewed Lil L. Mm-hmm. He said that Lil Wayne used to open up for him. Like back in the day, like, I think about this song is really like, that song was really like 25, 30 years old.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, I remember Birdman booking him to open up to close out for Cash Money. Like, Cash Money opened up before Lil L because the song was so hot back in the day.
Yeah.
But we, in the early 90s, we ain't know nothing about it.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, he remember Birdman put him on the flyer before Cash Money and like helping Cash Money grow throughout small country towns.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't know that.
Yeah, he said it in an interview. He said basically in his interview, like, man, yeah, I used to like Lil Wayne to open up for me. So that's the reason why Lil Wayne said what he said on the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that in the interview. I'm like, damn, that's Wayne. Then it got big. Like every time I saw something else get bigger and bigger, then it was Drake. He DJing, he playing this shit in the club. I'm like, bro, this shit really crazy. Then I wake up like the next morning after that. J Electronica dropped the album, and you know Jay-Z on that motherfucker with him. This nigga like, bro, this nigga like so many people start mentioning me on Twitter like, bro, this nigga Subtweet Shawn really a legend, and like they just putting like the lyrics, I guess, or whatever the song was under it. So I go to play this shit. I'm like, bro, there is no fucking way that Jay-Z is on this song right now, saying get the gat. I'm like, bro, like this shit really that big. So like I don't know, that shit just was.
So how did you feel when somebody said Subtweet Shawn? If he a legend, how did you feel like that? Like
I felt like the sky was the limit after that, but it was so fucked up. Like literally right soon as all that was happening, COVID, like that was the beginning of COVID-19, and the whole fucking world stopped.
But the crazy, like people don't get it. Like I think New Orleans was on fire when you first did it, because people didn't get it. Like when you did that. Also, there's an artist from New Orleans named Jizzle. Jizzle was just blowing with that water, and I saw like the players and and all these songs were running, but it was you doing it too. Like, man, New Orleans about to blow. Like I'm talking about even before Arrival 9 emerged. Like I think that people knew we was coming.
Yeah.
Like people might not get that, but they don't. Like the world kind of felt New Orleans back.
Yeah.
So it kind of opened doors for a lot of people and actually did things as well.
Definitely.
But also, I still give you props because I feel like you still was a gatekeeper to getting artists to LSU. Because I seen Rob 49 in Calvin at football games, everything like that too. So I feel like you was really a gatekeeper and you just ain't see it in your eyes yet.
Right. Come about because I ain't gonna lie, I really ain't see nobody like that at LSU until years to come and shit. Like that's when people slowly started to come perform at LSU. Like I ain't, we ain't never had that shit.
LSU allowed people to perform like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I never saw nobody like that perform at LSU.
Facts. So I'm asking you this question. I know people want to know. What did you go to LSU for?
When I first went, I went for theater, and I'm sitting in the class and I'm looking around me, and it's just nothing but like weird ass people in this class, bro. And I'm like, dog, this shit, I just can't be in here. Like, I don't know, we just ain't had the same energy. Like, everybody wanted to do, like, some Broadway shit, and that wasn't me. So I'm like, you know what? I fuck with sports. So I wound up changing my major to sports administration, be a sports agent or some shit. And, a lot of shit started popping off for me while I was at LSU, so it kind of was, like, distracting. Like, I couldn't really get my mind right while I was in school. So I wound up doing, like, 2 semesters and a half at that motherfucker, and then I dipped out. Speaking
on that, for the kids who don't know, what is your plans now, going forward?
My plans right now, I'm definitely about to transition into getting into movies. I don't want to be boxed into me just being on Instagram doing funny videos. Because let's say I get a call today, they might want me to do some funny Instagram shit they saw me do on Instagram. But when I know my talents stretch way beyond me just doing comedy, or just me just doing skits. So I'm trying to make that transition right now.
So say you just have a whole career being an actor and just being a comedian. Do you feel like you're still going to sports marketing, sports agency as well?
Yeah, definitely. I want to branch out and do so much shit. It's like I'm doing that right now. I just be all over the place. You might see me drop a snippet for a damn song here, and I never probably dropped that motherfucker. I got a song with Ralph 09. I dropped that shit.
People don't even know that now.
People don't even know it. I dropped that shit way last year. So it's I just be hearing up, just doing in every avenue.
Okay. So I hear this a lot with comedians, so I have to ask you this, especially being from New Orleans, do you feel like at a certain times, when people can approach you, do you feel like it's crazy, people always want you to be funny? Sometimes dudes oh clown ass niggas. I saw somebody with a skit like that. New Orleans people approach you different. So it's oh funny ass nigga, clown ass nigga. You might really don't be like that. Yeah, just who you doing for the it was just a kind of start your career. but like they'll just approach you so wrong and make you feel like, is he playing on my top?
And look, and I promise you, that's like the way I carry myself out in public. Like a lot of people probably look at me and be like, man, this nigga always mugging or he just look unapproachable. But it'd be 100% for that reason, because I don't want you feeling like you could just run up on me and just think, oh, this is an Instagram nigga. Like, no, we regular people at the end of the day, bro. We do this shit to make y'all laugh, you know, make y'all day better type shit. But at the same time, we regular people like y'all. So I don't really be on too much bullshit in public. Like you might see me do some funny shit here and there in public, but just know like this my time right now. Your time is when I'm on Instagram. You feel me? I'm me. I'm in my zone right now. So yeah.
So like, what is the weirdest thing you ever had happen to you when, like, actually when a fan approached you?
The weirdest thing I ever had happen to me. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. When I went out in Baton Rouge at this spot called Tigerland, like a bunch of bars and shit, I was so surprised at how many white people knew who the fuck I was. Like, white people really yelling, dude, Subtweet Shawn. I'm like, what the fuck? And they all come up to me, come taking pictures and shit. I'm like, bro, like, this shit, this shit amazing to me. Like, the fact that white people fucking with you, like, even though I don't really count that as validation, but it's like, I feel like I didn't cross over into, I
don't cut you off on speaker on that, because I saw that all kind of on like Kevin Hart show, because like Kevin Hart and like Chris Rock was fussing about comedian type thing. They're like Chris Rock told him, "You're black famous, I'm white famous."
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean,
kind of made it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
if you think about it,
yeah.
if you think about it, I mean, it's facts. Like, cause that's like when a rapper, like, you just on the rap charts. When niggas cross over to like what they call this shit, like the Billboard Hot 100, like like pop charts, like Drake. That's a pop artist, right?
There's independent. There's you there, and it's like mainstream artists.
Yeah.
Like you're a street, different things. But like when actually, like white people knew you out the gate, shit, you damn near made it. And you did that. I ain't see you you did it.
Free, right? Facts.
So like being in this whole entertainment industry, I want to hear it out your mouth. Like, what do you enjoy most about it, and what do you actually hate about it?
What I enjoy about it, that's a good question. Shit, I don't know, man. I just live. I don't know. Every day I just live life like as if I ain't gonna say as if this shit don't exist. I just like do me. So it's like I just enjoy all this shit. And I'm gonna say like the downside to it is like, as far as me like doing my social media shit, it's hard, having to wake up every day and like think of some shit like, damn, how can I make these people laugh? If I don't do this today, these motherfuckers might say, oh, Subtweet Shawn fell off, or oh, he ain't funny no more. I don't know. He been doing like it's a lot of shit you gotta worry about when you in this type of field. Like, it's so competitive. Like, I don't say is harder than rap, but it's like you could see some funny shit today and it ain't gotta be a skit. It could be you walking out here and busting your ass and that's gonna go viral. So it's like you gotta compete with a whole bunch of shit like that. So like that's like really the only downside to me.
Speaking of influencer, I'm glad you say that. Like how do you feel when like you make a video you think gonna go viral and it actually don't go viral and your fans on your ass?
So I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never give a motherfucker a chance to get on my ass about some shit ain't go viral. Cause if I see it, I'm gonna instantly know. Like I'm gonna feel like, okay, this shit probably really ain't that funny, but I'm gonna just test it out just to see. And I know like within such and such amount of minutes, like, should I keep this up here? Like you'll know even before you post it though. Like I'll know like, all right, this shit ain't really funny.
Like, cause like influencers is some kind of like something new coming out. It's like. Then this is something I want to go deep into about this. I want to hear your version of it. Like, what do you do after there's no more being an influencer? Like, basically, you done put out so many videos, and it's like, it's my time to do something else, or like, basically, it's a wrap on being this influencer for social media.
Right.
So it's like, do you have a timeline as being one like influencer?
Shit, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's like how I feel right now. Like, I done did so many videos, and I look and see, like, this shit has been happening to me recently, matter of fact. Like, people be remaking videos I done did, And I'm like, bro, I literally did that fucking video already, and niggas will come back and probably do the same shit I did. And it's like, that shit'll, I ain't gonna say it'll blow my video out the water, but it's like, nigga that did so much shit, like niggas go to remaking your shit, acting like it's dead, so that type of shit'll just make me like, look, I feel like I've done enough.
But it's kind of like rap though. It's like, you done said so much shit that you might have said something that somebody else said a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So a rap might be like, man, it stole my lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like how a comedian feel like, man, it stole my whole skit. Yeah. I heard people say, man, I can do my skit. But like a rapper feel like, yeah.
What I'm saying, it's so crazy though. This shit was really exactly. This shit was exactly like word for word. Like he was doing exactly what the fuck I was doing. I'm comparing the videos. I'm like, bro, like this nigga really taking my shit. But it's been so much other shit that niggas done stole from me, like evident shit. Like when I did the Y'all Mind by Praise God thing, like just dude rolling up on me playing the music, like yo, come hear this, and then I start dancing. So many people done videos like that after that. Like I even said like Chris Brown and shit when he was doing his little challenge. I influenced that shit. Niggas may not think that, but that nigga Chris Brown posted my video. Just so happened.
So speaking on that, you know what I'm saying? Like being from the South, I ain't gonna say just New Orleans, Louisiana, like, do you feel like bigger influencers or entertainers actually steal smaller influencers or comedians stuff without giving them credit?
100%. Oh yes, that shit, yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. That type of shit happens all the time to me. They could be big, we probably be on the same level, and niggas think you wouldn't see it. And I confront their ass like, bro, like you stealing my shit, and then they'll try to give you credit after they done posted it already. Like, it don't mean that no more, nigga. You knew what you was doing. Like,
speaking on that, so like, what's your advice to one young influencer comedian trying to make their name and like basically, but they make their first viral video and somebody just come and swoop and steal their shit and don't get them nothing, and like just try to, I'm like little boy them, little bro them. And like, I want to hear your advice, because though I'm pretty sure you went through a few things like that.
all I'm gonna say is about that, like, just keep going. Like, don't get caught up in that shit. Like, don't sit there and dwell on it, because then the fact that you sitting there worrying about it and your feelings about it, this nigga getting, whoever stole your shit getting bigger and bigger while you sitting there complaining and bitching. So it's like, you gotta keep going. Like, keep doing whatever it is that you was doing. Keep doing your shit.
Gotcha. So, do you feel like you ever have to move? I'm like out of the South, cause obviously you already moved out of Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have to move out of the South, like to LA or New York or somewhere, to make it to actually where you going? Like like when I say where you going, like where you feel like you can really be bigger at.
That's fact. It's like 100% speed up the process. Like by you just being in your own city, like it's so much distractions. You know, like the crabs in a barrel shit, like people say, like it's so many people probably try to shit on what you doing, like, oh, he think he famous, or just shit like that. Like people want to feel like they on your level. Knowing y'all really not on the same level, they want to like make you feel.
People always feel like you're on your level.
Yeah, they want to
because they feel like you live in the same city, you got the same shit.
Facts. So that's why it's like you gotta get the fuck from out here.
But like even you get up, they still feel like, I'm just saying from my point, like if you can travel the world, but like they feel like we grew up together. Why not me? Or why? You know, just people just feel like that. You can't really kind of avoid that. You just gotta move different.
Right.
And that's fuck what you gotta do it.
Fuck us growing up. I worked for this shit. Like, I mean, did you put the same work in I put in? So it's like
they don't feel it.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you know they don't feel that.
Facts.
Yeah, they don't feel that shit. Okay. So, what do you think you'll be doing if you wasn't doing actually, like what you'll be doing right now, like for being an influencer or a comedian?
Shit. I played sports and shit like that. That's what I really grew up doing. So shit, if it wasn't this, I would have probably been playing sports. I'd probably be doing some music or some shit. Like I say, it's them two things, sports and music. It's just the two things I really grew up on.
So what year did you realize that you was gonna be a comedian? Cause the first real video I saw you did, like one MTV type careers with shout out my boy Lewis and your mom and them, you know, shout out to them. But I saw you did that, like like, this nigga is crazy. But I want to know what year did you realize, you know what, this is what the fuck I'm about to do.
I ain't gonna lie, I was saying that shit like when I was like a little bitty kid. Like I didn't even really know what the fuck a comedian was. I just was growing up saying the shit. And it just so happened, like, as time went on, like, I just grew into that shit, and that's exactly what I started doing. So it's kind of like I spoke it into existence. I probably was like 6, 7 years old saying that shit. Ain't know what it was.
So let's get deeper. So, you know, like, most people start careers that they mom don't approve of father, stepfather, nobody approve of. When the first time do you feel like your family really believed you had something going on?
Oh shit, from when I was young, like they would always say like I was funny or like, you know, silly and shit. Like just they know I was funny. Like
so they believed in you from the start.
Yeah.
Cause you know every family don't believe like, wait, boy, look at the job, go to college. You know what I'm talking about? The first time you're like, oh, this is what he gonna do. He gonna make it at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant like by that. Cause like, you know me right now, just personally, like my mom still know what the hell I do. She like, hey, I know you do something legal.
Yeah.
So I don't ask you that like, I just would ask you like that. Like when your mama like, you know what? That's my baby. He's a fucking influencer, comedian. That's my baby.
So I'm saying from day one, like she always
supportive.
Yeah, she was always.
And shout out moms.
Facts. Shout out moms.
Okay. So I got this question for you. Tell your fans something about you that you don't show on your social media.
Tell my fans something about me that I don't show. Shit, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if they notice or not, but as far as me always like listening to like the R&B shit, I'm a lover boy. I like to be in relationships and shit. Like I don't like to do all the wild shit all the time. Like how people.
You don't want to be Magic Johnson?
No. I like to stay grounded. So yeah, that I'll say that's something they probably don't know.
Tell people, I'm like, what's next for you? Do you plan on, you know, starting your own production company, record label, acting school, influencer school, whatever you about to do next? Tell us what you got coming.
Definitely about to start attending an acting school, and I have like some short films I'm about to be in coming up. We will be like shooting them in the city. I got a whole lot of shit planned, man. It's something about to be crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of concerts, bunch of shit. Like it's about to go crazy.
Right. And also, last but not least, tell everyone. I'm like, what can they find you on social media and just everywhere? All
you gotta do. Google Subtweet Shawn. You'll see everything. I'm Subtweet Shawn on everywhere, so make sure y'all tap in with that.
Nolazine, make them scream. Nolazine. Make them SCREAM. Scream. Nolazine, make them scream. You heard me.
All right, we done.
Get it.